In this video, I'm going to be ranking every single mythical element in Type Soul from worst to best, and I'll be giving you guys the best builds to use with each of them. I do want to say before we start that I asked a bunch of top 50 players to help me rank these, and honestly their opinions were quite scattered, so some of these could be interchangeable. And like always, please make sure to like and subscribe so we can hit 7k by the end of the month, and let's get right into it. The very bottom of the list, the worst mythical in the entire game has to be the light partial, and the only Arrancar mythical. It's no surprise that this is on the very bottom of the list when literally every single Type Soul player can agree on the fact that common partials are a lot better than the higher rarity partials for Arrancar, and the mythical is no exception. This used to be very busted on release, but it's been nerfed quite a bit, and due to that it's honestly become pretty bad. You're better off using commons like Bone or Slash than using this mythical. Build for this in my opinion has to be Hakata. I haven't tried it with Hakata. I fought Hakata users using this and honestly I've never lost to it before. However, I feel like if you are good with it, you could probably make it viable just because the kick move does do half a bar, but the other two moves kind of suck. I'm using partial essence with this, and honestly I think without partial essence this is completely unviable just because you don't really have any combos. And the best combo that you can get with this nonetheless is your X and C, so the dash and the kick, because that is a true combo. The Z is horrible, and if you do end up getting the Z like I did on this roll, you're pretty cooked, I'm not gonna lie. So that's another thing that just makes this a lot worse. I know the Resurrection and the Segunda are completely busted. However, in my opinion, the Resurrection and Segunda can't make up for the fact that the base is just that bad. Like, to put this into perspective, in ranked I had a completely unbeaten streak till I hopped on this to get some clips, and every single time I played with this besides for this match I lost. So like, it's that bad. Like, maybe I was just having some off games, but I was complete like 100% win streak till I got on this. So like, yeah, honestly I just maybe I'm bad with this, but in my opinion and every other person I asked, this is just trash. So I would honestly just get on a comment instead of this. It's that bad, bro. I'm not saying buff this, but like maybe give it a rework, honestly, because before it got nerfed, it was pretty busted. Like, before it got nerfed, it was honestly one of the worst things to go against. If you guys are fighting this, you could easily parry the Z move. The X is pretty blockable, and yeah. Hime, if I could, I'd just straight up put this at the top of the list, low-key. But every single person I asked put this at number 5 or near the bottom, and I think it's just due to the fact that the Shikai really lacks in a lot of different categories. Like, it drains a lot of Ryasu, it doesn't do crazy damage, and you can't really easily combo with this. Like, the only effective Benihime combo that I've personally seen is Shikasume into Time Speed Cut, or the Mortal Spot Ties Kendo moveset combos, but I think those got nerfs. But yeah, the positives of Benihime is that it's great for applying pressure, you're able to gain your visor bar fast, and I think the best build for Benihime would have to be 60 speed, just because you're able to gain your visor buffs really fast, and visor buffs a ton of speed moves. And if you have Ryatsu regen variant, it's like covers for the weakness as well. It's honestly really good in visor. The only issue most people really have with Benihime is probably because the Bankai sucks. It feels like something you get from a common Bankai. Like, death dealing users get an entire domain expansion and you get a slash that might hit them sometimes. The heal is nice, and the Bankai crit is really spammable and good. But yeah, honestly, it's just really underwhelming in my opinion. Another really big issue I have with Benihime is the fact that we don't really have any special passives. Other mythicals have something that make them really unique. I know we do have the triple slash, but honestly that kind of just feels really bland. Like, for example, Kyoka gets the freaking Bankai crit clone thing. The basically dagger Bankai used to have a clone that it gave you. Kyoka gets that in base now. Duality gets 11 moves. What else, bro? Freaking death dealing has a fucking poison bar. Balance has the balance meter, right? Like, we don't have anything unique. We lost the freaking shield. It's now only in Bankai, which I kind of get. It was pretty busted, but it'd be nice to see Benihime get some new passives in base. But yeah, honestly, I really do like this Shikai still. And if you have a specific playstyle like similar to mine, where you're like very pressure heavy and you like playing speed and you're good on speed, I think Benihime is definitely still viable. But there's definitely some better options if I'm being honest. Like, it's not that brain dead, but it's not really trash either. Like, I know I did list out a lot of flaws in it, but nonetheless I would still say this is a valid pick and it's not terrible. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Healing is one of the most controversial ones because some people rank this at the very top while others rank this at the very bottom, so I decided to just put this in the middle because it either gets nerfed or buffed every other update, so its position is kind of wonky. Generally speaking though, it's only really viable if you have the Claw cybernetic attachment, because without that it's pretty difficult to keep people chained down to the poison field. I would highly recommend though, if you are using this without Claw, to get speed, because every single poison proc also stuns them and also does like a bar. So like the main playstyle you want to have with death dealing is to just keep people chained down to that poison bar, because you can literally just chip down all of their HP with that. Big factor in death dealing is the fact that its mode is almost in an instant win condition, especially in clan wars or raids, just because you're able to kill a ton of people and earn a ton of points. So that's definitely one of the very big factors death dealing has. But in my opinion, the base is sort of underwhelming after the death dealing build with Kendo got nerfed. You can't keep people chained down with mortal ties and death dealing anymore. So after that build kind of got gutted, I feel like death dealing did fall off. And also another Claw substitute would be the fire cybernetic, because you can also hold people down with fire, the fire thing, because it like ragdolls them, if that makes sense, right? So Claw or fire, those are the best ones for death dealing. And as for the builds that work best with death dealing, in my opinion, it's very simple. It's either 60 speed, because you have moves like time speed cut, waterfall dance, and fast fang, which work really well with the domain, or Keto, because Keto just works well with everything. I've seen Hakuno with death dealing go really crazy as well, but in my opinion, death dealing and Hakuno both have alternatives that work both like better with each other. So it kind of just depends on what you like using, but in my opinion, I would definitely go with either speed or Keto, because those are like the best builds for this, honestly. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. We're on to Kyoka Suigetsu, and this one is like a special case in my opinion, because some people say this is complete dog shit and other people, aka me, say this is busted. So in my opinion, right, at a lower level this is 100 times better, because nobody knows how to deal with the clone. You guys can see in this clip, I'm literally gonna completely 5-bar this guy just because my clone is brain dead. This, for those of you that do not know, is actually the former Bankai crit of the dagger weapon for Soul Reaper. So this is a straight up Bankai move in base. Every other move is valid as well. So the purple move gives me a damage buff. My X is basically a free posture up, because everybody is obviously just going to straight up block it. So if you're on speed, you can just pop Spectre Step immediately after and they're going to get guard broken. Unless they have the boss rate stuff, which honestly, yo, another thing, completely off topic, I hope the boss rate stuff actually gets gutted to the ground. That shit is so busted and you have to farm hours for all of it. Like, ain't nobody trying to do that. But anyways, right? So yeah, Kyoka Suigetsu is just really good straight up, just due to the fact that it has a Bankai move in base and it lets you one-shot combo people. Here you will see me sell a little bit just straight up because I don't play Thepsol that much anymore. I gotta unwash. But basically, yeah, the best Kyoka build has to easily be, in my opinion, the 60 speed build, because it is the easiest to combo with your clone. I think Kendo and Hakuda work well with this as well. Keto can work with this, but in my opinion, after Keto got gutted, Keto got completely gutted before, I think it is not as good. So I would personally highly just recommend everybody use 60 speed with this. I've seen some people do Hakuda as well, and that can be viable, but yeah, I'll go 60 speed. Let's move on to the next one. Now we're on to duality, and to be completely transparent with you guys, I don't know much about this Shikai, so I can't give you the best advice for this. However, from everybody that I've asked, duality has always been ranked at least top 3, and most people pair it up with the Hakuda skill tree. From what I can gather, it seems like the duality moves just flow / combo really well into Hakuda moves, like the red grab thing. Completely honest, I honestly can't really offer much feedback for the skill tree straight up, just because I don't know much about either of them, to be honest. But off this clip, it seems like duality and Hakuda really do combo well together, like that white beam move into like the red grab. Like, you feel me? If you play either of these two skill trees, or if you play Hakuda or whatever, you'll know what's going on here. But yeah, like really solid skill tree, and I think the combo potential on this goes crazy. I can't lie. If you know more about this skill tree, comment below. I will pin your comment, because I myself, I don't play Hakuda and I've never really played against duality. If I'm being real, every single interaction I've had with a duality user has been the Clone Trooper speed Yamato build, and that is also really decent. However, in my opinion, those guys are a lot easier to deal with in comparison to the Hakuda duality users. So I would definitely recommend anyone with duality to try Hakuda. But yeah, anyways, let's move on to the final Shikai element of this video. Surprisingly to me, a lot of people did rank balance at number 1 for some reason, and I presume that's just because you have a really good heal move that can heal you and your teammates a bar of HP. The vault standing is really nice as well, and your team move is a great combo extender. A combo that I really like to spam with balance is Precedent Slice into Spalting Crit into Fast Fang, and you can do that in any order. You can finish that off with Waterfall Dance, and it's just a crazy combo. The best build, in my opinion, has to be 60 speed, because even if you aren't using the balance weapon, which I don't remember what it's called, but even if you aren't using that weapon, you're able to gain your balance bar really fast. And honestly, I don't think there's any other skill tree that can even compete with speed when it comes to balance. Balance pairs really well with speed because it does not have as much offensive capabilities, and speed has a bunch of moves that you can straight up just throw out, a bunch of gap closers as well. So with that, I feel like landing moves such as President Slice is going to be a lot easier, and due to the fact that speed gives you massive dashes, you're literally just able to dash across the map, pop your heal, and completely get it off for free. With other skill trees, you just aren't able to do that. So I feel like for that reason, it's just really nice. I'm using the Fire Cybernetic box here. It doesn't really matter which one you use as long as you get Claw or the Flame one. Both are valid. I feel like Fire Cybernetic box into President Slice, into Fast Fang, into the Spalton crit is a great combo. But yeah, in my opinion, Balance just does its best with Spalton, Fast Fang, and the President Slice combo. That is just super basic, easily spammable. It's one of the most free combos in the entire game, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like no other skill tree even comes close with Balance when it comes to speed. Like, I feel like speed is honestly the best build to use with Balance. Like, even when Balance first dropped and I got it, like, I was cooking people in rank, bro. Like, yeah, I honestly can't think of another skill tree that can do well with Balance. Comment below if I'm wrong. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna end it off here, boys, and goodbye.